Okay, great. Here we go. So I want to thank you again. If you just joined Facebook, 7 steps to get more new patients fast. Thanks for coming. This is going to be packed full of really good information that you're going to be able to take back to your practices tomorrow or today, and really start marketing your practice on Facebook. And it's still kind of a little known secret of how to use Facebook effectively to drive new patients. We've been doing this a long time, and it's been an age-old question. Should I be involved with Facebook? Should I be involved with Twitter? And we're not going to talk about Twitter or Pinterest or things like that right now. We're going to talk about Facebook. But in my opinion, really, it's not a question of if you should be using Facebook to drive more patients to your practice. It's really more of a question of how. There's no question you should be. It's just a lot of people get confused with what to post, how to post it, how do I get new patients off of what I post, and we're going to go over a lot of that in this chat. And so just one more time to the people that are just coming in now, if you have a question, just go ahead and type it in the chat box there that you have, and either myself or one of my team members here will be able to try to answer those questions as quickly as we can. If we can't get to them all, then I apologize for that. You can always email, I'll give you all my contact information at the end of the webinar, and you can email me or call me or whatever you need to do. I want to answer all the questions because this is a pretty important part of marketing. So with that said, let's get started. Just a little bit about me. I'm the owner of iFuse Dental Marketing. We founded iFuse in 2009. I'm also an author. The Ultimate Guide to Internet Marketing for Dentists. It's available on Amazon, and if you want a copy, some of you may already have it because I know that we're doing some giveaways with the book. But if you want to go to our website, you can actually download an e-version of that book right now. It's ifusedentalmarketing.com. And I'll give that out a little later too. My experience, why should you pay attention to anything that I say? Because my kids certainly don't. But I've been doing this for a while. I've got 12 plus years experience in local marketing, almost exclusively online or digital marketing. I've worked for some pretty big companies and learned a lot. Unfortunately, I learned a lot of what you shouldn't do, but I guess that's part of it. And that's one thing that I do bring to the table. I have a really good team, and we really know what works well for dental practices and what doesn't work so well. I was actually trained by Google themselves at their headquarters in Mountain View, California. It was a very cool opportunity for me. It was when I worked for another company, and we were part of their reseller team. But very few people can say, other than Google employees, that they were actually trained by Google. So I learned a ton of great stuff there. And if you ever get the chance to go visit them, that's the coolest place probably ever to work. They have restaurants on campus, bicycles. You can just walk in and eat at any one of their restaurants for free. It's a really cool place. So I do hold some certifications from Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and I live in Denver, Colorado, and that's where I'm broadcasting from tonight. I'm married and have 2 kids, Brody 5 and Caitlin 11. So that's just a little bit about me. Let's just keep going here. A little bit about my agency and what we do. We're founded in 2009. We're a full service digital ad agency, and we are focused 100% on the dental industry. We weren't always that way. We started as kind of a general agency, and we took on clients that were plumbers or auto mechanics or whatever, and that's how we built the business. But then we grew in the first year or two. All of a sudden, we had 15 dental clients or so, and we were getting amazing results. So we really decided that let's pick a niche and let's really focus on this. And this allows us to really know the lingo. We can really get to know the industry, and it really helps us being able to market for our clients. We're a little bit unique in that there's a lot of companies out there that'll just do websites, or they'll just do SEO, or they'll just do pay-per-click. We pride ourselves on being a full service agency. So if it's digital or if it's online, we know how to do it, and we know how to do it pretty well. So Facebook ads, SEO, Google My Business, website stuff, we do it all in-house, and we have a team of experts, and we try to hire somebody that's kind of an expert in each one of these categories. So that's just a little bit about us. There's 7 of us, and again, we're in Parker, Colorado, which is about 20 miles south of Denver. So, I'm hitting the wrong button. I guess I probably should ask, can everybody see my screen? Can you actually see the PowerPoint presentation I'm going through right now? Could you just type in the chat box that's working for you? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, great. It's Kane. This is one of the biggest webinars we've done. We've got tons of people here. It's just amazing to see the turnout. I'm really appreciating all you guys coming on board. So, a little bit about the agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about the opportunity that's in front of you as a dental practice on Facebook. I want to get into just a little bit of the Facebook basics. We're going to focus a little bit on likes. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get my patients or my patient base to follow me on Facebook? And it's actually easier than you think. So I'm going to take you through on how to really get likes, and not just any likes. I mean, you don't want people that are in another country or another state or somebody like that liking your fan page, because they're probably not going to wind up being a patient, right? So we're going to focus on getting the right kind of likes. Facebook offers, a lot of people don't know about this, and it's a really well kept secret because we see so many new patient signups from doing Facebook offers, and it's not expensive to do. Facebook ads, these are just normal ads, may surprise some of you with what you can actually do and advertise on Facebook now and how effective that can be. And once again, we're talking very cost effective here as well. So, and then we'll do some Q&A. And I wanted to do I will be doing a special gift for you at the end. I'm going to keep it a secret though, but it's pretty cool, I have to admit. I'm a little biased, I know, but it's a pretty cool gift. So hopefully I'm not boring. I'm going to try to make this as fun as possible and as interactive. So again, as you have questions come in, we're going to stop and address those and get to them as many as we can. Okay. So let's start with a poll. You guys actually get to vote on stuff. Let me launch this poll if I can remember how to do it. Here we go. Okay, that's not the, there we go. Okay, so I'm launching this poll. It should pop up very shortly. And here we go. So when that pops up, please get a vote. I'm going to wait just a minute here. And it looks like about, wow, 60% of us have voted right now, 70%. And the question is, do you use Facebook personally? I'm probably going to get some chats like, duh, who doesn't? But you never know. So I've got about 78% of the base here have voted. So, and guess what? The answer is 100%. 100% say yes. We use Facebook, and that's kind of my point, guys. The opportunity on Facebook is huge. Everybody uses it. And it's something in these statistics that you're looking at right now, 1.35 billion monthly active users, 1.35 billion. 72% of online adults visit Facebook at least once a month. 66% are that 25 to 35 year old. And that's for some of you. I know we've got different types of dentists. We probably got some pediatric dentists on the line from maybe Julie Weir's organization. And we've got probably cosmetic dentists, family dentists, and all kinds of difference. But for a lot that we see, that 25 to 35 year old is kind of the bread and butter for a lot of practices out there. And they really want to try to attract that age range. So almost 70% of people in that age range are using Facebook. This is a pretty cool stat. And people spend an average of 21 minutes on Facebook every day. So they're kind of paying attention to it as well. For a lot of our dental practices, depending on what they're doing, the female is usually the decision maker, and usually the one that we're really trying to market to. And what's interesting here is that the average female Facebook user has 250 friends. Now that's really important. And I'm just going to throw this out, and if you would, type in the chat box if you don't mind. But why do you think it's so important that female demographic has that many friends? How could we leverage that, do you think? Let's see some responses. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. So we're getting, oh, okay, yeah. Because they'll tell their friends too. That's right, exactly. So we're getting a lot of, so that you can send your message to their friends, and yeah, that's exactly right. Let me close this poll. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you've got it because the cool thing about Facebook is that you can leverage your fans and their friends. So we're going to talk about, and we're going to hopefully at the end, this all ties together and you get a big aha moment and you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, duh. So it's not so much about your fan base when you think about it. It's the friends of your fan base. Because if we can do something really cool with content and put it onto Facebook and all of the people that follow you see that, if we could just get 10% of those people to share it on their own page, and then 10% of those people to share it on their page, you can see how this can snowball. And it can be incredibly viral, if you will. You hear that word a lot, but it can be incredibly effective to get the word out about your practice and how cool you are. So that's an important stat. 45% of you Facebook users are 65 and over. Does that surprise you at all? I mean, Facebook really started as college kids, right? Just just trying to kind of communicate with one another. And now it's expanded. Now it kind of turned into, okay, it's high school buddies keeping, close ties with each other. Now it's, grandparents keeping close tabs on their family and their children and things like that. So it's really gone up in demographics, which I think is really interesting. So let's launch another poll real quick. The first one was so much fun. Let me see if I can do this right. Okay, here we go. So we know that Facebook is being used a lot, right? And there's no question that's across a large demographic. So my question is, how many patients have you gotten that you can truly track that you've gotten off Facebook in the last 60 days, the last 2 months? How many patients have you brought in? And so you've got the choices there of none to 1 to 10 to 11 to 20, 21 to 30, or over 30. I posted this poll on Dental Town a couple of days ago, and we'll show you the results of that in a second. And it was pretty interesting. We've got about half the audience right now have voted on this. So I'm going to give it just another minute here. Okay, cool. Okay, about 65% of you have voted right now, so that's good. Okay, so let's see what the results were on the poll at Dental Town. Dental Town, for those that you don't know, it's an awesome place to go to learn about all kinds of stuff with dentistry, not just marketing, but dentists talk about specific cases and things like that. So we try to post on there quite a bit just to try to keep up with what's going on. But so you can see that we had about, 50 or so. Is that right? 40 some vote on this poll. And you can see it almost 60% of people have gotten no patients out of Facebook. 33% have gotten 1 to 10. 2 have gotten 11 to 20, and 1 more than 30, which I thought was awesome. That person actually reached out to me directly, and he does dental implants, and he's really got that thing dialed in, because if you're getting 30 patients a month off of that, you're doing pretty well. So that's pretty cool. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to post the poll on right now. Let me close ours down. I'm going to share the results. And you can see it's about 50%. 50% of you have got no patients, and only 50% are in the 1 to 10 bracket. So it looks to me like, we're kind of on pace with what I've got in Dental Town. We got a little bit of a larger audience here, certainly, but the numbers are pretty close. So my question is then, if we know Facebook is attracting all these people, and they're specific people, and they're the type of people that we want in our practice, why aren't we getting more patients out of it? So I think after the end of this webinar, you may not be a Facebook pro or an expert, but you're definitely going to be ahead of the game, because Facebook is going to be an excellent way for you guys to be able to get ahead of your competition. We all know how competitive the dental industry can be. This is going to be one way, and there aren't that many anymore, that you can really take the lead in front of some of your dental competition. So let's first talk about some Facebook basics. I know that everybody on the webinar has a Facebook page personally, but I'm hoping that you all have a Facebook practice page too, meaning a page specifically for your practice. If you don't, well, don't leave the webinar and do it, but after the webinar, go directly and do it immediately, because that's the first place you want to be. Next, we're going to go live. I had an old trainer once when I was worked for another company. He said, whenever you're doing trainings or webinars or anything like this, don't ever go live because things can go wrong. So I'm going to not take his advice, and we're going to go live a lot. Just because it's so much easier to actually show you some of this stuff rather than, try to explain it through a PowerPoint. So, whoops. So we're going to go actually to my Facebook page. There it is right there. And I just want to go over some of the basics and make sure that you have this stuff fully filled out. Because if we're going to do marketing on Facebook and we're going to try to drive patients here, we need to really have a complete page, one that's going to stand out, it's going to talk to your audience, and it's going to make people want to interact. So what we're looking at here is my page, my dental marketing page. You can see I've got the background, this banner of a dental office, nice and clean and looks pretty. But I did the empty chair there for a reason, right? Because obviously in my business, I'm trying to get, dentists more patients. And so I try to get when a dentist comes to this page, I like to see them see the empty chair and think, yeah, how do I get more patients in my chair? But anyway, you can see what I'm trying to do there. But, get creative. Think about who your target patient is and really decorate the site for that. So you can see I've got the image of the dentist here. I want dentists to be able to relate when they come to this so that they can see it's a friendly place for dentists to be able to hang out and do, multiple things. Oh, can you guys see my page okay? It's got somebody saying they couldn't see my page. Could you just type in if you can see the page, the Facebook page okay? Okay, looks like everybody can. Okay, cool. Sorry, Jen, I'm not sure what's going on there. I can't troubleshoot it from this end, so hopefully it'll come up for you soon. So, okay. So going on from this, there is in your page, you've got all kinds of stuff, and to me, Facebook is starting to get a little bit busy. Meaning there's a lot of different stuff going on here, and you've really got to be able to pay attention and know what's going on. You have your main news feed over here on the right. And you can see where I just posted about 5 hours ago about this webinar, trying to get as many people as possible to get to the webinar. Over here, you've got some different options. You can invite your friends to the page. That's fine. Just do it smart so that if you're going to invite friends to the dental page, make sure they're in your area, right? Because there's no reason to clutter up, if you will, having fan likes from people or places or that are never going to come in. There's a little About Us page right here. Website link right here to us. Photos section. This is still part of my main feed here. There are actually a couple of videos that we produced for two different dental practices that I thought came out pretty well. So you can post videos, you can post articles, events, offers. So we'll get a little bit more of that now. And posts would go here, and reviews. Now this is a pretty new page, guys. I just built this not too long ago, so even my page isn't completely filled out, but you'll see reviews and whatnot over here pop up. And if you guys are really nice and you really like what I'm saying, you could even give me a good review about it. Hint, hint. Just kidding. But posts would go here. If somebody wants to write a post, they can put it there. So this is the basics of the page. Now, what you want to do is you want to go up here to settings. And you want to be able to go in here, and you can do a lot of different things. You can add people to their roles, like you can make them admin or whatever you want to do. You can get your notification settings. General settings are like messages and tagging ability. And, I don't have enough time to go through all of this. But the biggest thing you want to make sure that you do on this is make sure all of your stuff is filled out. Okay. So like when you go to this About page, you can just click to see where it says Manage right here. It's kind of hard to find. But let's just go to the page first, and you can get more information about us. You've got a map of where we are, a little bit about what we do. This is our website link. And then once you go to page info, you can see a lot of different stuff here, right? Name, web address, our physical address, categories are big. You want to make sure you choose the right categories for Facebook, because guess what? These Facebook pages from time to time will actually show up on Google when somebody does a search, and it's mostly done by what categories you're in. So there's a lot of stuff you can put in here. My advice to you on the settings of this, fill out as absolutely much as you can. That's going to be the best thing that you can do. So make sure you come into this tomorrow or whenever and make sure you've got everything filled out and it's accurate. I've seen people with wrong phone numbers, wrong old addresses, all kinds of stuff. So you just want to make sure this is all good and filled out. The long description, this one's important. You can see I put in a very long one. You can actually get this off of your website. I'm not a big fan of duplicating content anywhere online, but we usually just copy this stuff off of our client's Facebook page and put it in here. It seems to do the trick. So that's the basics anyway on the Facebook page. So back to the webinar. What I like to focus on first when we're talking to dental practices and we're doing Facebook marketing for them. Now, let me back up just a little bit. Tonight, we're talking about Facebook marketing, but I would never condone anybody just to do Facebook marketing on its own and expect to blow up your practice with new patients. Facebook is a great way to do that. However, it's much more powerful when you integrate this with an overall marketing strategy. So maybe you do some pay-per-click on Google. But trust me, Facebook is, for us anyway at the agency here, starting to take over Google AdWords because of the cost and the effectiveness. But search engine optimization, direct mail, some of our clients are doing TV and radio and stuff like that. Facebook complements all that stuff, and all your strategies should be working together for the same common goal of driving a new patient. So most of our clients typically at least are employing 3 different strategies at one time, because we never want anybody to rely just on one thing to drive new patients, because stuff changes, especially the internet, right? Rules change all the time. It's just something that you need to really be a little bit diverse in. It's kind of like the putting all of your eggs in one basket type thing. So that's what I wanted to stress is tonight's Facebook. We're going to do another webinar in a couple of weeks. We'll probably do that on Google My Business, which is that local listing area on Google with a map section next to it. That's really important too. But I see a lot of companies in my industry focus on SEO. Hey, I'll get you on the first page of Google. It'll be great. And then Google changes its rules, or you get penalized and you're on page 40 after a while and all of your traffic is gone. Well, when you do an integrative strategy, you don't have to rely on just one medium. So okay, so before we get into likes and how to get and attract more of those likes, do you know who your ideal patient is? I mean, do you really know who they are? And I don't mean, it's Bob from, on the corner of Main and 4th. I mean, do you typically know age demographics? What's their household income? Do you know their gender? Who's usually calling you? Is it a female or a male? Who's the most common insurance provider? How close are they to your office? Are they within 5 miles or 10 miles? Or, we have some dental practices where people fly in from other cities to visit our dentists. It's really important when we talk about Facebook marketing that you really know who that patient is. And if you don't know, don't worry, that's not a big deal. You can figure that out pretty quickly. But if you know who your ideal patient is, your marketing overall is going to be much better, but also your Facebook marketing. So we're going to go live again here. Hold on one second. Let me switch browsers. And I'm actually going to go to Facebook. And I'm going to show you how to get more likes. Now, this is a paid method. And even though it's a paid method, it's a very cost-effective paid method, okay? So I'm going to actually show you step-by-step what we do for our dental clients to bring in new. And this is just kind of like a dummy account that I have set up. So I'm just going to go into actually my account. And I'm going to show you how this is. So you go into Manage Ads. This is kind of your ad database. You can see I've got some kind of test ads running right now. A lot of these, and a lot of you may have even seen my ads on Facebook. And signed up through the webinar that way. So that's cool if it did. So all you're going to want to do from here is you're going to want to go over here to see where it says Create Ad. Simply just click Create Ad. Okay. Then you're going to come over here and there's going to be different ways. This used to be back in the day. This used to be like 3 or 4 choices you'd have, and that was it. So it was pretty simple. But now you got all kinds of different stuff. You can claim your offer, get video views. If you want to build an app, you can get installs off of that, promote your page, have people click directly to your website. But for this particular drill, we're going to talk about how we're going to promote your page. We're going to get more Facebook likes. So you simply click this and you'll go to it's going to ask you right now, what page do you want? Which page? So for this test account, I've got several different here, but I'm going to choose mine. And so I just chose my Facebook page. And now this is where it's cool, guys. This is, if you're not familiar with this, this is where you're going to maybe have an aha moment. All right. So this is so dialed in that I can target. And now I know that you're all on Facebook. Do you remember when you signed up for Facebook, you basically had to give them your life story? Your age, your cell phone number, your address, what you did. Some of that wasn't, you didn't have to, but a lot of it you do put in because you want to share some of that stuff with your friends. Well, what Facebook does is they use that for their advertisers. So when you say that, for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to say I'm going to target all the United States. I'm going to target only people that have a degree in dentistry, a doctorate degree in dentistry. Well, mostly those are going to be dentists, right? So I can really target this specifically to what I want. So let's say if I'm you, okay, and let's say I'm in Denver, okay, I'm going to remove this guy, okay, and I'm just going to put in Denver. Okay, and it's going to say, okay, you mean Denver, Colorado? Yep. Okay, and then it updates over here on how my audience is. Right now, I could send this out to 1.6 million people. Okay, well, obviously, if I'm a dentist, I don't want everybody in Denver to pay attention. Maybe I do, depending on what you do. But typically, when we do these, we try to really home in on these as much as we can. So I'm not going to do Denver and 25 miles. I'm going to target that a little bit less. I'm just going to do Denver. Okay, so now it takes me down to 940,000 people, but only people in Denver proper, in Denver's, maybe a 10-mile radius, Denver metro or so, are going to see that. Now, I know who my patients are, right? They're typically 25 to 35-year-old females. Okay, so guess what I can do? I can say I want my ads to only show up for 25 to whatever. I'll put 45 years old, and I just want women. Okay, that's it. You can do languages, but we never do. Leave that blank. Now, this is where it's cool. So we have a lot of, not a lot, but we have some high-end dentists that don't take Medicare or Medicaid. They, only really want to see those patients, like the cosmetic stuff, the high-end stuff. So let's pretend like we're going after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into more demographics, and I'm going to say, okay, I want people with a college degree, right? So I'm going to click educational level. And it puts it right here. I'm going to say I want college grads in Denver, right? Well, look, now I'm down to 114,000 people, but I'm targeting people in Denver, which is right around my practice, and they're college graduates, which means they probably have a good job. That's not for sure, but it certainly helps. Now, you can go crazy with this, and I don't have the time in this webinar to be able to go through all of this, but you can go into financial, income. Do they own their own home, which a lot of our dental practices, that is one that we use. So we'll go home ownership, and we'll say they are a homeowner. Okay, now we're down to 40,000 people, very targeted. So now we know that they own their own home, they're a college graduate, and they live in Denver. You can see how specific this can get. So I'd recommend, if you are going to do this on your own, go into this and just play with it. We spend a lot of time going in this and making sure that we know all these categories so we can really drill down and get the exact type of people that we want. So interest, you can go into that too. Do they like fitness and wellness? There's some health sections in here that we've played around with before. It can be really, really good of what you can really target here. So, but for now, for time purposes, and this is actually a pretty good campaign right now, the way it's set up, I would probably do a couple other things, but this is a good start. So we're going to go down here. Then you simply set your budget, right? So, $5 a day on my demographics, I should be able to reach 470 to 1,200 people every day. That's huge, guys. I don't know if any of you have done Google AdWords in the past, but this all day, and I'll show you some actual results very soon of the actual numbers that we've been able to produce for dental practices, and it'll astonish you. Bidding, you can bid for clicks. So every time somebody clicks your ad, you pay, or you can optimize for impressions. That means every 1,000 times that your ad is shown, you'll pay a certain amount. I always leave this as optimized for page likes. Google does a pretty good job of spending your money, meaning it strategically does it pretty well. So, if I can hit 470 to 1,200 people every day for $5 a day, do the math. If I can just 10% of those to like the page in my demographic, that can be hugely valuable, right? So, just imagine if you did 10, let's just put, just for giggles, let's put in $25. You can see that would raise me up to 2,100 to 5,600 people every day I could reach on that. So very powerful. You can name whatever you want as your ad set, just kind of to keep everything organized. Now, this is the important part. Please pay attention to this. This is the image that you're going to use. You don't have to be a Photoshop expert or anything like that, but I'm going to give you basic tips, and then I'm going to give you some specific tips on some kind of tricks and tips that you can do here. So it's trying to use right now as a default my Facebook cover page. Remember, this is the page on the image that's actually on my Facebook page. So they're trying to just use that and make it simple for me. But I want to do something a little different. So I'm just going to X out of this. You guys run dental practices, so you probably aren't Photoshop experts, and you probably don't have tons of like stock images laying around. But that's okay, because you can actually go browse library right here. You can click stock images, and you've got access to hundreds, if not thousands, of images. And you can do it by you can search for these images. Like when I do campaigns, obviously I search for dentist, and it shows me a bunch of dental photos. I mean, these are high quality, high definition type photos, and there's hundreds of them. So for this campaign, again, who are we targeting? At 25 to 45-year-old female, right? Probably has kids, but maybe not. So we can use multiple photos here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll just do young woman. Okay, and you can see we've got, sometime, I don't know why this guy's coming back for young woman, but whatever, right? Facebook isn't perfect, obviously. So let's see what we got here. So this isn't the best one, and I probably wouldn't choose this one, but let's say we do. That's one of them. Let's just say I want also a family, because we want to target families too. Some of you do anyway. Let's see. Usually it comes back with a lot more images. I'm not sure what's going on here. Usually there's hundreds of these. I'm really surprised that there's not more. Let's do young family maybe. So my advice here is get back, and here's a bunch of photos. My advice here is target photos that's really going to identify with your target audience, right? Make them feel at home, like with my page with the dentist. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it professional looking, that it's a place for dentists, and you can collaborate, share ideas, things like that. That's what you want to do as well. So you can add actually 6 different images here, and it'll automatically create 6 different ads for you, right? I'm gonna get rid of this one because it's annoying me. But so I say you go with 6 different images, and then you can kind of test to see which ones are working the best, because it's going to show you statistics based on what is working the best. So for this, I've gotten 2, right? And you can see what your page is looking right here. So this is what your ad's looking like right now, to drive more likes. Wow, that's a terrible image. Don't use that image. I thought it was something different when I clicked on it, but in time's sake, we're going to keep it like this. Now, you have to know what you're doing when you write the ad. This is critical. The image is critical, and so is what you write. So you have to identify with your audience. You need to type something in here that's going to resonate with your audience. It's going to make them want to click on you. So sometimes this is even things like free teeth whitening special with new patient appointment, right? So you could do like a special offer here. Click here, whatever like that. Some people like to say, like for instance, we have a dental client that's 5280 Magazine's top dentist for the last 6 years. You want to put something attention grabbing in this to make sure that people are going to, number one, see it, and then want to take action on it. So for this case, I'm going to say now accepting new patients. This is always a good one, because you sound exclusive, like you weren't accepting new patients before, even though you were. Free teeth whitening with new patient exam. Now you can see that I only get so many characters here, right? I've got 21 more characters here. So you don't have to use them all, but you have to kind of figure out what's going to work and what's not. So I'm just for the time's sake, I'm going to go with that. And then we're going to go show advanced options. Okay. And this is the headline. So the headline's what's down here. You can make it say whatever you want. It doesn't have to say what your page name is. So I don't mind using your practice name, because you do want to build your brand when you're doing advertising or marketing for anything. You do want to build your brand and have brand identity. So, we'll just say, okay, Aspen Springs Dental. right? Okay. And then landing view. So when they click on that, where do you want them to go on your page? To the map, to the reviews, to photos? I always do timeline because that's going to be the quickest place for them to actually want to take action. This isn't updating. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. It will at some point. Okay. So, and that's it, guys. It's as simple as that. So in 10 minutes, probably, I guess it's been, I've created an ad. I'm going to target 32,000 or almost 40,000 people within Denver that are my demographics for $25 a day. So, I mean, that's pretty good and it's pretty simple. And all I would literally do is have to click place order right here, and it would process that order. You'd have to add some billing information, things like that. They just charge your credit card. And you can turn it on and off whenever you want. You can see your results, which I'll show you some of that in just a little bit. And it's incredible, and it will start driving likes almost immediately. And they approve the ads in about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer especially if it's a new account. But within an hour or so, certainly you're going to start seeing new likes come in from people that are actual potential new patients for your practice. It's incredibly valuable. So that's just really quick how we help some dentists get page likes. Now, you don't have to pay for them. You can do other things like put flyers in your offices when they check out and things like that. But this is a quick way to do it. And we do have a question that came in. Do you have the option to save an ad that you've set up and then place order at a later date? Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I've never tried that. But now that you mention it, I don't believe you can. Let's click on review order. Okay, that doesn't do it, does it? Jack, I don't think you can. I think they pretty much want you to buy now, if you will. So if you don't, do that, what you could do, I guess what I would do is, let's do this. What I would do if I were you guys, I would go here and I would click place order. That would go ahead and place the ad, and then I think I would just go in and pause the campaign because you can do that. So you can see it's been placed. So I'm going to come back up here, and here are my ads. And all you simply have to do, you can see that it's in review, so Facebook is looking at it right now. But then all I have to do is click this slider. Well, it's not going to let me do it because it's in review. But after they review it, you would just come in here and slide this to off, and then that would turn the ad off. And then you could go back in and do the editing. So I think that's the way I would do it. I'm sorry, I'm reading through some questions here. Okay, good question here was, do you recommend placing the ads in the news feed and along the sidebar, or is one better than the other? Great question, and I think I was going to cover that later, but let's just do it now. Let me go back to my Facebook page here. This is my personal page. I'll show you. And I want to show you where these different, and some of you may not, why did I do that? Some of you may not realize where these ads actually show up on your page. Let me go back here. Here's Facebook. Okay, so this is my personal page. My apologies if some of my bonehead friends post something on here that's offensive. That's what happens with Facebook when you friend people that you haven't spoken with for 25 years. You never know what you're going to get. But anyway, so this is my page. There's a couple of different places where ads show up right here. And this is actually my ad, guys. This is my Facebook ad that's live right now. So some of you may have seen this, and it may be following you around the internet. My apologies for that, but retargeting is an incredible way to do this as well. But you can see these ads are targeted towards me. So these are two spots where people can find ads about you. But also, what's really cool, and is somewhat recent, I guess, within the last year or two, you also can, your ads will show up in this suggested post area in the news feed. And it's kind of hard to tell that they're ads because they want it that way. But you can see right here where it says suggested post. And you can see meet the only social media tool that allows your Facebook updates to more of your fans. Well, guess what I do for a living? I do social media marketing, right? So this company's targeting us to try us to get to buy their tool. So that's a pretty good targeting spot for them. So you can see how effective this can be. And if we were looking for a tool to help social media marketing, you know what? I would click on that and I'd check it out. So to answer your question though, newsfeed is always going to be way more effective than these side ads. These side ads will get traction too, but whenever you get the chance to put your ad in newsfeed, you do it. That's my experience and my advice anyway. Let's check this out. Some more questions here, sorry. What's a good CTR for these ads? Wow, we've got experts here. This is cool. And what if you still start getting spam after you've targeted a specific demographic and users you receive are not in that? Let me read that again. What's a good CTR? A good CTR, it kind of depends on the type of campaign you're going after. That's kind of a broad question. It depends if we're trying to get new patients or if we're trying to get likes. For this one, for likes, we like to see a click through of, certainly 1%, north of 1%. And for everybody who doesn't understand, a CTR is click through percentage. So it's how many times your ads show up on the page divided by the number of clicks. Gives you your CTR percentage. So we really try to find something, even 1% or better. Certainly, some of our good campaigns are up to 5-6%. So, but let me try to answer the second part. What if you still start getting spam after you've targeted a specific demographic and users? Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, Amy. I think you've got some experience with this too. Facebook, you have to be a little bit careful with, and you have to pay attention to it. That's why sometimes it's not as easy as to do it on your own, and it's certainly not a set it up, leave it, and forget it. We check these campaigns almost every day, and what happens sometimes is that there are people that create and organizations that sometimes create fake pages. And sometimes they just put on there that they like everything possible, right? And sometimes you start getting likes that perhaps aren't, the specific ones that you wanted. So you have to check that out. And if that's happening and you can monitor the likes that you're getting, you have to change some things up on campaigns. So that's what we would do in that situation. Yeah. Okay. So I think I answered all those questions. I got to get going here. We're going to run out of time. All right. So that's how you get some likes if you want to pay for them. Other ways, post good content on your main Facebook page. But that could be a topic for a whole new webinar on its own. So let's keep going here. Facebook offers. I'm going to jet through this because it's the same premise as what we just set up. So I'm not going to have to go through all the details of how to set up a campaign. But what I do want to stress is that you should do this tomorrow because it's free. Number one, you can put ads to it, but we always start these off with free. This is the link to go to offers to learn more about it. There's a whole web page on Facebook offers and how to use it and what's the best way. I am going to go live. I'm going to show you how to create this offer just really quickly because we are running out of time because I can blab. So I apologize for that. Let me go back here. Whoops. And these settings are going to look a little bit different to you because we use Facebook Business Manager and it's kind of convoluted, honestly, sometimes, but it helps us manage some of our clients. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go to Manage Ads. Okay, it's the same process, except first what you would do, you know what? I got to go back and create the offer really quick. Sorry about that. Hold on. So I'm going to go to my page, use my page. So what you would do first is actually create an offer. Let me go in here and Chris Pistorius. There we go. I'm going to do this actually. I'm going to show you. This is actually a friend of mine. Hopefully nobody knows her, but this has been encouraged. She's a photographer, not a dentist, but I don't really want to show any of our clients' information. So I'm going to show this. We actually created. This is the offer. Sitting fee discounted by 50%, a $75 savings, specializing in family and senior pictures. We've reached 5,300 people with this. And this just started 2 days ago, and we've already got 22 claims, okay, on a photographer. Actually, these offers actually work better for dentists. So you can see that it's extremely helpful, but let me show you really quickly how to create that offer. You go to your Facebook page right here, and you'll see in the top, you'll see Offer Event Plus. Just click there, click Offer. And it's really simple. You just simply select the picture that you want. You put in the title, the description. Again, you put your image in. How many claims do you can limit it to? So maybe only 10 can take advantage of it, or 5,000, or no limit. You could put an expiration date on it. You can put specific dates. You can send people to an online redemption link. Terms and conditions are important, obviously. So we like to do the teeth whitening specials with a new patient exam, and then we put in this, it's part of the Velscope. You have to do Velscope, x-rays, things like that. And you just simply click Create Offer. It's that simple. And that will show up on your page immediately. and then that will automatically market to your current fan base. So it's free to do. They don't charge you anything. And when people click on these, like if I click get offer, which I can't do, but if I did, it would automatically pop up and say, look, you just got an email from Facebook with this offer. Please present this to the practice when you go in. So it's a really cool thing. Not a lot of people know about it, and certainly not a lot of practices take advantage of it, but I think it's something you should definitely do. Now, you can also put advertising behind this. So you can actually go in back to your ads account. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to answer questions and do chew gum and talk at the same time, and it's just not working. You can actually go into your ads account right here, right? Where is it? Okay. And remember when we first started this, we hit create ad, and then you just simply go to get people to claim your offer. So the offer that you just created, you click this. Okay. What page was it? It was Lady Ulig. By the way, if you're in the Denver area and you need pictures taken, she's awesome. And then you'll have your offer right here, and you just click that and you hit continue. And then you start filling out the same stuff, right? The same demographics, whatever we want. It's the same routine, basically. So you'll see a lot of the same things that we just did for the offer or for the likes. So that's how you create an offer, and this is how you promote it with some budget if you want. So highly successful. In fact, let me show you a campaign. I took a screenshot. I think so. Yeah, so let me blow this up, and you can see I blurred out who the client was, but this was a dental practice. You can see that this hasn't ran for very long. In fact, we've got it turned off now because we've gotten a good return on it, and we don't want to overdo it, certainly. We're only spending $10 a day, guys. We've spent $128 on this campaign, and we got 18 teeth whitening claims. So you can see here's my ad down here. New patient special, get a free teeth whitening treatment valued at $350. You always want to put value, and people can know what they're saving. Expiration of December 19th. Free teeth whitening. They simply click that, and you can see I've got a nice image here that resonates with the target market. And you can see in this other red box, our size was 196,000 people living in very specific communities here in Colorado. I did do 25 to 65 because of the teeth whitening thing. And we're targeting married or engaged and their homeowners. So kind of that upper echelon clientele, if you will. But look at those results. I mean, where else can you spend $128? And not all 18 are going to come in and offer, but we've already got a good 10 of them that have actually booked their appointment. And remember, we're not just giving free teeth whitening, so it's not like we're going to go broke. We're requiring them to actually have a new patient exam as well. So, incredible results there. Facebook ads. So this is another way to target your audience. And we're going to go live one more time. Let's get out of this, and let's go here. Whoops. Go over here. So basically, this type of ad is just a generic ad, if you will, right? So I'm going to get out of this because they want me to buy that offer, but I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to go into my account here, and we're going to manage ads. Okay. And these are some ads that I've created right now. Okay. These are just general ads. So I'm going to go create ad, like the same process. And you can see that we're a very familiar place here. But instead of doing the offers or instead of doing the likes, I'm going to actually send people to your website. Okay. Click that. You just put in the website that you want. So I'll just use one. This is one of my landing pages, I believe. You can name it right here. And guess what? It's the same thing. So you want to be specific with your ad sets. So you may want to do one ad set for teeth whitening, maybe one ad set for dentures, one ad set for cosmetic dentistry. You don't want to try to use one ad set and try to attract all kinds of different focuses because you really want each ad to be targeted to your specific market. So cosmetic dentistry, way different than, giving away teeth whitening. Those are two different clientele typically. So you separate your ads and make sure they're in different campaigns so that, obviously you can target those people. So you just go through the same stuff. It'll guide you through everything. Images, it's all exactly the same pretty much. You've got your different ad sets here that we did before, and then you just click place your order and you're set. So literally, even if you've never done this before, within an hour and a half, you could have an offer going, you could have general ads going, and you could have a light campaign going. And within 24 hours, you'll start getting screaming good results. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go out in this and nail it the first time. You may have to test it and play with it if you do want to do it yourself. But I can honestly tell you that as of today, this is one of the most effective ways to market your practice and cost effective. Let me show you some actual results from general ads that we ran recently for a dental practice. Check this out. So we've spent $1,100 in the lifetime of this campaign. I can't. This hasn't been going on too very long, but we've gotten 2,400 clicks out of it. We've reached 150,000 people. Frequency is how many times that specific ad has shown up to to a specific person that you're targeting. So on average, our target audience has seen it twice. We've spent $1,100 and we're paying 48 cents a click. Whoops, sorry. 48 cents a click. That's unreal. Right now on Google AdWords in the Denver market anyway, if you're doing pay-per-click on Google, you're looking at $8 to $15 a click. And it may not be as targeted as what we can do in Facebook. So it's screaming inexpensive. So check this out. So I've gotten 2,400 clicks out of this. Okay, 2,400 clicks. Click-through rate isn't great, but this was a pretty wide open demographic, so I don't expect it to be real great. It's costing us 48 cents a click, and we're spending $20 a day for this. If you spent $20 a day on Google AdWords, you might get 3 clicks out of it if you're lucky, right? So it's just an awesome way to market your practice. So let's see. Let's check time here. 5:52. So we're getting close to the end. I feel like I just went through this so fast, but hopefully you've gotten some good things out of this. I do want to go ahead and open this up to any other questions we have, and I haven't done a very good job because I'm not checking my questions very well here. And don't forget, I still got the surprise coming for you too. So hang on just a minute. So hit me with some questions here really quick. We'll spend 2 or 3 minutes here just answering some of these questions for you. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is a good question. How wide of an area should you really target your ads for? So I'm assuming you mean like how far from your dental practice. It varies a little bit. Every practice is a little bit different, but typically what we try to do, and we try to talk to our clients about, is kind of like that 10-mile radius. And again, it depends if you're in a metro area or more of a rural community. The rural communities, obviously, they'll drive further to see a really good dentist. But in like Denver, there's almost a dentist on every corner, so you have to be really cognizant of that. So we really try that 10-mile radius. Let's see here. Another question here. Okay, so it seems like big corporate dental agencies have taken over. How can we compete with them, because we see their ads on Facebook as well? Good question, and we see a lot of that too. It does seem like dental practices are getting more corporate for sure, but what I see that as is an opportunity. I like it when I see that, because if you can explain to people using a multitude of different mediums that it's way better to go to a private practice versus I sometimes call them the Walmarts of of dental practices. If you can relay that message in an ad, then you can do really good things. And even with pay-per-click or Facebook, this is a great how do I want to say it? This levels the playing field, because Comfort Dental, for instance, or Bright Now, or any of these big companies, your ad can be right next to theirs. And it's not going to cost a ton of money. You can really compete with these guys online. So yeah, it is becoming more corporate, but I think it makes it a bigger opportunity, certainly. Another question here. For the holidays, do you recommend dentists highlight any specific services like Brighten That Smile for holidays, or recommend dentists offering something for Black Friday to get creative? Yeah, Amy, totally. I think you're on the right track there. Facebook, you can really be very creative with it. And yes, I definitely recommend that. One thing that we are doing, for instance, is a use your benefits by the end of the year. What's it called? HS or I can't remember right now. It's getting late, but we try to really get messages out that, hey, don't forget you've got this flexible spending account. You need to get into the dentist before the end of the year. The kind of use it or lose it type thing. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably nodding your heads right now. I would definitely do a campaign on that. Holidays is cool, though. We haven't really done a lot in terms of, like a holiday specific type thing or a Black Friday, but Maybe we will now. So I appreciate the idea, Amy, but you could definitely do something like that. Yeah, especially if you sell, some of our practices will actually sell like the Sonicare brushes in their office and things like that. Maybe you could do something cool with that. Maybe even create one of those offers on it, right? So, you don't want to get crazy like Groupon and lose money doing these offers, just as long as you tie it to something that can be more profitable for sure. So let's take a look here. What other questions do we have? Okay, what time is it? 5:56. All right. One more question, and then we got to wrap this up. But let's see. What's a good one here? Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's one. This is a pretty good one. What type of content do you see get shared most frequently by fans of pages? Great. And this could be a whole nother webinar, Jack. I appreciate the question. You could literally do a half a day seminar on this as a whole, but we talked a lot about advertising on Facebook, but you don't have to spend any money if you don't want to. And that's all based on content that you write about. And I see a lot of practices kind of foul this up a little bit. They'll post almost like spam, you know what I mean? It'll almost be like, look how great we are, look how great we are, look how great we are. And they're not really doing what Facebook was built for, and it's to share information. So to answer your question, what type of content do we see? We like to post content. So one of our services is doing that. We'll actually, take over the entire marketing for Facebook, and we'll actually do posting for them as well. And we like to share things that are going on in the community, not even about dental stuff, issues that are happening in the community, news, maybe the Broncos are doing well here in Denver. But again, thinking about your target market, that 25 to 45-year-old female, right? Maybe so like kids stuff, so we like to blend that in. And then, every once in a while we will throw an offer out there. But we want people to want to see what we're posting. We don't want to see them get a notification that we posted something and they're like, oh, another spam, I got to get rid of these people. And you'll actually start losing fans based on that. So my advice would be share what you can about the community, about your target market, make it something interesting. Think, okay, if I was that 25 to 45-year-old mother or female, would I like to read this? So I think that will always pass a litmus test. Good question, though. So we're going to wrap it up, but I want to give you your present because this is really cool. But I do want to ask if you guys have questions. I know some of you posted questions here I wasn't able to get to. I apologize. But this is my cell phone number, my office number, my email address. And of course, if this isn't something that you want to do yourself, because it's not for everybody for sure, and you do need some help growing your practice, give us a call. I'd be more than happy to just do a 30-minute free consultation with you, just to kind of see what kind of shape you're in and give you some tips and advice. Certainly no obligation with that at all. But if you do need some help, let us know, because that's certainly what we're here for. A gift for you. So this is pretty cool. I want to give each one of you a video. I'm going to give you a customer review video. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take one of your reviews that's online right now, a good one preferably, and we're going to make a video out of it. We're going to actually have an actor go in front of it, in front of a green screen. And if you send me a picture of your lobby or the front of your building, we'll actually make it look like the actor is in your office doing this. Let me show you one of these. West County Pediatrics. We just did one for this. And let's see if we can find it here. Yes, it's ranking really well on YouTube, so that's good. So a few months ago, we did this for this dentist. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not, but here it goes.
Making customers happy is a serious priority for us. So when one of our happy customers writes to tell us about a job well done, we love sharing that.
We highly recommend Dr. Ahmed. We've been taking our older daughter here since she was 1. When she was younger, I would go back to the exam room with her, but now that she is 3.5, she is able to go back for her appointment by herself without any hesitation. She looks forward to getting her goodie bag at the end of her appointment and picking out a surprise. The waiting room is very comfortable with lots of things to do for siblings.
Let us help you with our excellent customer service as well as our years of knowledge and experience. Let our company earn your business. So thank you for.
So you can see it, and Unfortunately, that one's not a great example. I picked a bad one, but you can see where they talked about customers and clients and our business. Well, it'll be tailored to say patients and our practice and stuff like that. So this was kind of one of the first drafts we did with this product. But you can see, I mean, it's you can put it on your website, you can throw it on YouTube, you can get it to rank on Google fairly easily. It's certainly in the YouTube section. But I want to give you one of these because I think it's cool and I think it'll help you. You probably know that online reviews are important, and if people can see this video and this actual review of you online, I think it would help. So if you want to and you're interested in this, please go ahead and shoot me your email address if you would. Let me go back to my PowerPoint here. Shoot me an email with your email address and where I can send this. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you, I promise. And I will get that going for you as soon as possible. I'm Chris at ifuseim.com. That's all my information. So if you just shoot that over to me. Okay, thanks, Jen. I got that. I've got that one. Thank you. Some of you are just posting in the chat box. That's fine too. No problem. Or just send me an email. But also, Jen, some of your, a lot of you are putting the emails here. But also, if you would send me a picture of your office, so I can customize that. Because in that video that I showed you, that was actually their office that he was standing in. So it looks pretty cool. So anyway, guys, I appreciate so much you hanging on. We went a little bit over time here, but hopefully you got some good information out of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Some of you asking what my email is. Can you see the screen still? Can you see my email address there? Chris at ifuseim.com. So it's Chris, C-H-R-I-S, at ifuseim.com. So just shoot me that information. And but I appreciate it. But I hope what you're taking out of this is that Facebook is a huge opportunity for dental practices. You will get new patients from it. And it's one of those, it's still a little bit of a secret for dental practices. And I think you can make a really big bang if you do this and do this correctly. So again, I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you again on another webinar.